And we're looking at our next weather maker, bringing us widespread rain for this morning. But I'll show you what happens as the cold front crosses our area and when the rain moves out.
And watching the roads, this is a live look at conditions in Wake County as we track the rain. What you need to know before you head out the door this morning. Plus, the state of child care. Lawmakers are calling for change in North Carolina. The problems facilities are dealing with as they push for more funding. WRAL News at 8 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
The time is 8 a.m. here on your Thursday morning on a wet morning. It is. Thank you so much for joining us on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. It's been very busy for First Responders.
Yes.
Several crashes this morning. So let's go ahead and check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking these wet conditions for us.
Look at this radar. Dual Doppler 5000 radar seeing widespread rain this morning. It's a little more patchy south of the triangle, but that will pick up in intensity. See this yellow shaded area that's starting to develop around Danville back over toward the Triad. That's right about where the front is. And as it moves southward slowly through the day, we're going to see that rain starting to become a bit more intense in our southern counties where it's a little lighter right now. So 100% chance starting at noon, lasting all the way until around the middle of the afternoon. And then we start to see that rain tapering off for us. It's a messy commute out there. It is a WRAL weather alert day, expecting mostly to see rain this morning, some road spray, some low visibility. And Ken's coming up to talk more about where we're seeing some slow conditions out there. This is a look at the Garner Tower. You can see some low cloud cover, almost some fog out there this morning too, and plenty of water on the camera lens. It is 51 degrees right now, so not terribly cold, and we'll climb to nearly 60 this afternoon. Temperatures at lunchtime are in the upper 50s, so it's a milder day, but just a lot of clouds. It's a messy commute for us. By lunchtime, we're going to see the heaviest rain lasting up until around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then it begins to shift off to the south and east, but I'll show you what that means for some of our counties for tomorrow coming up. Ken?
Well, that's what's happening now. The WRAL Traffic Center, boy, everywhere you look on our live traffic map this morning, it's green, which means wet road conditions, and that's why we have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning since we've been on the air at 4:30. Let's check in with Kelsey Coffey, Charles Bradley. You guys are in US 1 in Cary. What are you seeing right now?
Ken, we are seeing that widespread rain that we've been telling everyone about all morning. We'll go ahead and give you a live look now at road conditions here on US 1 and Cary. So this is probably the most rain that we've seen. It's picked up a little bit within the last 10 minutes. As far as your morning commute, this is what it's going to look like. So make sure that you give yourself some extra time because you're going to want to slow down. This rain does impact visibility. We even saw a couple of drivers with their hazard lights on because they were just being extra cautious. But Ken, what else can you tell folks before they head out the door this morning?
Yeah, it's a situation where, listen, you need to leave the house a little sooner than usual because it's been very busy this morning for first responders in terms of crashes. Well, these are a couple of secondary roads that we're keeping an eye on. Capitol Boulevard, you see the huge delays it's causing. Also on Lewisburg Road, we have reports of a crash on Mitchell Mill Road. We're not seeing any delays in that particular area, but just be mindful of that intersection as well. Here's where the slowdown that we're seeing on I-40 Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning on this wet, dreary morning. Right now, you're looking at a 7-minute delay on that southern loop of the Beltline. If you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, just a couple of minute delay between Highway 36 and the Beltline, and just a couple of minutes delay along Wade Avenue headed to I-40 westbound. So, you know, depending on where you're headed this morning on that southern loop of the Beltline, 7 minutes may not be that bad. We are picking up some delays around Highway 55, around Lewisburg, Williams Road, I should say, coming in from Apex and US 1. You're looking at an 11-minute delay. might want to use 540 as an alternate route over to 64, and that will help you get around that delay on US 1. But our friends in Wake Forest, you're looking at a 14-minute delay. I just showed you what was happening there on Capitol Boulevard. Just a 3-minute delay if you're coming in on I-87 from Nightdale. You're getting ready to head into the car, though. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. And this morning's rainy weather was a factor in a multi-car crash on I-40 near Airport Boulevard. Troopers say a BMW lost control and sideswiped the black Suburban around 3:30 this morning. Then at about 4:25 this morning, another car hit the BMW. Drivers from all three cars have minor injuries. All lanes are now back open. We are trying to learn more information about a crash involving a Durham police officer. This was at scene last night on South Roxborough and Cornwallis roads. You can see significant damage to both the police car and another car. Police say the crash happened while the officer was responding to a call. The department says the patrol car's lights and sirens were on, and the officer and the other driver were both taken to the hospital for minor injuries.
Well, police in Nightdale are looking for the person responsible for firing shots at an apartment complex. The WRAL breaking news tracker was at that scene at Parkstone Apartments. That's on Park Commons Drive off Nightdale Boulevard. Police believe a person fired several shots in the parking lot. A nearby apartment was hit. No one was hurt, though. So far, no arrests, but police identified a suspect vehicle.
Just here into the WRAL Live Center, maybe within the past 10 minutes or so, we have learned that right now there's going to be an increased amount of law enforcement at Millbrook Magnet High School. You may recall this is one of the schools yesterday where there was a code red lockdown after a student was found to be possessing a loaded gun on campus. Now, no one was harmed during that, according to investigators, but Malcolm McIntyre, who is a senior at the high school, was arrested and charged. So, I mean, this happening the day after is typical of law enforcement to ensure that people feel safe while they're on campus and to ensure there is no other kind of incident. But again, at this school, there will be an increased amount of law enforcement after yesterday's situation.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Investigators in Cary are trying to find out what started an overnight house fire. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Capitol Crest Drive from around midnight. This is near West Lake Road. The Apex and Fairview Fire Department both responded as well. No injuries were reported.
Happening today, we're expecting to receive the 5-day report from Raleigh police about a shooting involving a Garner murder suspect. The report will give more details about the incident involving the man on your screen, Solomon Owens. On February 19th, Raleigh police officers attempted to serve him an arrest warrant. He was wanted for shooting and killing Joseph Adams in Garner on February 9th. Police say Owens shot at officers, hitting one of them. He's facing charges including attempted first-degree murder and assault on a law enforcement officer with a firearm. That's in addition to the murder charge out of Garner.
Happening today, state lawmakers will be talking about what they call a child care crisis in North Carolina. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is at Kate's Corner in Durham this morning. And Ali, leaders from across the state will examine how child care can be improved.
Yeah, this discussion here at Kate's Corner is going to be between child care providers and also lawmakers. They're talking about why it's so crucial for the state to step up their funding for child care. And take a look at this video here. Right now, about 18,000 children are on wait lists for child care subsidies. Senator Natalie Murdoch says the legislature has not provided funding for child care over the past several months. It's led to rising costs for both parents and providers. Lawmakers plan to bring this discussion to the legislature when the budget is talked about this spring.
We definitely want to get that feedback from parents, but more than anything, we want to make it clear that we need this funding. So we will be taking all of their comments and sharing it with the chairs of the Healthcare Committee and the House and the Senate.
And they're hoping for some relief, some solutions, hopefully starting in April, because that's when the legislature is set to talk about the budget again. Reporting live in Durham, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, you may notice some changes soon when you call 911 in Wake County. The includes how dispatchers will prioritize where to send ambulances first, using sirens less often. Those changes will be taking effect early next month. Last night, people got a chance to learn more about what they can experience calling 911. They were also able to provide feedback directly to EMS leaders.
I need folks to know that if you're having a critical time-sensitive life safety issue, that as we do today, we're going to be there quickly with well-trained EMTs and paramedics.
6 more community meetings are happening now through mid-March. We have more information on the changes and a list of meeting locations on our website, WRAL.com.
Multiple federal employees connected to the search of President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate have been fired. Multiple sources tell NBC News that FBI Director Kash Patel ordered the firing of at least half a dozen agents. And multiple sources say that number may be higher. This is in connection to the 2022 search of the president's Florida home. At the time, he was under investigation over classified documents recovered at the home. President Trump pleaded not guilty in that case, and it was later dismissed after he won the 2024 election.
Well, today, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton will be questioned. It's part of the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. The closed-door interview will be held and videotaped in New York. This comes after months of back and forth between the former first couple and the House Oversight Committee. The Clintons had volunteered to testify at a public hearing, but the committee chair accusing them of avoiding any closed meetings despite being subpoenaed for one. Former President Bill Clinton is scheduled to sit for a similar deposition tomorrow.
Happening today, services will be held in honor of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson. It starts with a procession through Chicago this morning. The procession will end at the Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters. That's where mourners can visit today and tomorrow. The famed civil rights leader died last week at the age of 84.
Well, time now 8:10, mixed decision. The president of a nonprofit accused of not paying employees, convicted on one charge but not the other. WRAL Investigates breaks down the decision.
And the search for Nancy Guthrie. Law enforcement prepares to turn her home over to her family, where this case stands nearly a month after her disappearance.
And it's a mess out there as you're heading out the door. You can see here as we look toward downtown Raleigh, the buildings are in the clouds. We're looking at rain widespread. And coming up, we'll talk about where you may want to avoid on the roads in this messy commute. (8:14) and here's a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. We have widespread rain across our area. Right now, it's a little lighter south and east of I-95, but this is the cold front that's starting to move through. That's going to bring us some slightly heavier rain as it moves through closer to lunchtime into the early afternoon. And after that, it does start to taper off. Once we get past 4 or 5 o'clock, we're back down to just a few light showers, mainly in our south and eastern counties. Here's a live look at Chapel Hill. It's messy out there. Just a minute ago, there were a bunch of people walking around, probably heading to class with their umbrellas and their raincoats. It's just, it's a messy and cool start this morning. Our temperatures are in the 50s, 50 in Lewisburg, 55 Fayetteville, 52 in South Hill, and 52 degrees in Goldsboro right now. Walking the dog, you may want to keep the towel beside the door for when you come back in, wipe those paws off. Our temperatures climb into the low 60s for this afternoon. We're still looking at a nice dry weekend. I'll show you how that evolves coming up.
Elizabeth, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. Boy, this dreary, rainy morning commute. Look at what's happening on that southern loop of the Beltline, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us, that bumper-to-bumper traffic you're seeing. But as jammed up as that looks, right now you're only looking at a 4-minute delay, just a 2-minute delay if you're coming in from Gardner, Johnson County between Highway 36 and the Beltline. We do have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning, giving you a first-hand account of what to expect. We'll check in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, Ken, thank you. The president of a Durham company accused of not paying its employees has been found guilty on one count and not guilty on another. WRAL Investigates has been covering this for months. As employees for CJF America Summer Camp told us that they are owed thousands. Yesterday, a judge found Kristen Pico guilty on one of her cases for writing worthless checks, not guilty on the other. He suggested that was because only one of the victims brought physical evidence to court. We spoke with the victim whose case was successful.
I just hope that everybody else gets something just like me.
So Pico was sentenced to a year of unsupervised probation and will have to pay that victim $1,100. Her attorney says they'll appeal the guilty verdict.
Investigators in Tucson, Arizona are preparing to turn Nancy Guthrie's home over to her family nearly a month after she was reported missing. There was a heavy police presence at the home yesterday. The Pima County Sheriff's Office confirming that final preparations were being made to return the house to the Guthrie family, which is normal in criminal investigations. Nancy Guthrie was reported missing back on February 1st. So far, no arrest in this case. Also new this morning, investigators are sharing more about a 911 call from from the Guthrie home the night she disappeared. The caller reported a woman was hanging out a window and screaming just a few miles from the Guthrie residence. We now know the call was unrelated to Guthrie's capture. The Guthrie family is offering a $1 million reward for any information that could lead to her recovery.
The North Carolina woman who was found alive 24 years after she disappeared will not face charges. Michelle Hudley from Rockingham County was reported missing at the end of 2001. Her husband told investigators Smith left to go Christmas shopping and never returned. The Rockingham County Sheriff said she was located alive and well last week. She told deputies that she disappeared because of domestic issues, but did not elaborate.
Well, a man has pleaded guilty to having a machine gun conversion devices in a crowded parking lot near the State Fairgrounds and Lenovo Center. Court documents show Luis Guerrero Martinez was stopped in October while driving erratically in that area. Officers say they found 5 guns, including devices that convert weapons into machine guns. It happened as tens of thousands of people were at the State Fairgrounds and rapper NBA Youngboy's concert. Prosecutors say Guerrero Martinez had recently been fired from his job as a janitor at Lenovo Center.
You don't know what would have happened if they hadn't found them, but it's obviously easy to imagine something terrible happening with all those people being around in that dark parking lot.
Police also found a Lenovo Center radio, a hunting knife, and a machete inside Guerrero Martinez's car. His sentencing is set for May 5th. He now faces 10 years in prison.
Happening today, a Raleigh staple is celebrating a huge milestone. The Players Retreat on Oberlin Road is celebrating 75 years in business this week. The sports bar near NC State's campus has served customers for decades. To celebrate, they're turning back the clock. Today, all hot dogs will be 25 cents and all Budweiser beer will be 35 cents. That's what those prices cost back in 1951 when the bar first opened. Yeah, let's bring that back.
It's such a staple in our community. Well, Go Triangle launching a new route next month. Route 705 will offer faster, more direct connection between Durham and Research Triangle Park. It connects Durham Station Hub, RTP, Boxyard, and the Regional Transit Center on TW Alexander Drive. It will operate every 30 minutes on weekdays from 6 in the morning until 7 p.m. Service starts March 15th.
Well, happening here in the WRAL Severe Weather Center, you know, Elizabeth, it feels like it's really been a while since I had to pack my raincoat and my umbrella, but this is much needed rain for us.
It really is. So today's Thursday. Today's the day the drought monitor comes out, usually the 9 o'clock hour. And, you know, we've had some rain, so hopefully we'll see maybe some improvement. But it typically takes a really long time to get into the drought and then a long time to get out of it, too. Today's a WRAL Weather Alert Day. We have the best chance for rain between today, tomorrow, and Saturday today as our cold front comes through. That front will stall along the coast for tomorrow. That'll bring some rain to our southeastern counties and then possibly some lingering along the coast on Saturday, but that shouldn't affect us. As a matter of fact, we should start to clear out nicely on Saturday. You can almost see where the front is. You can see that yellow shaded area. That's where the rain's a little heavier. It's been a little lighter this morning, south and east of the triangle, but some of that heavier rain will slide southward, but eventually eastward and then stall closer to the coast. Here's a look at where that front is right now with this low pressure system. And again, plenty of rain out ahead of it. Here's Futurecast, and we'll walk through, and you can see that line right there around 11 o'clock, how it gets a little bit heavier. And then by 2 o'clock, it's really shifted eastward into our eastern counties. By the time we get to the evening commute in the triangle, the heaviest rain will be east of us, but it will still likely be very wet. You may run into some spray still on the roads, and it'll just still be messy, but just not any heavy rain continuing. We get into Friday, and notice most of that rain. There's 7 a.m., there's 1 p.m., really closer to the coast, just affecting some of our southern and eastern counties from, say, Goldsboro to Clinton and Fayetteville. And then on Saturday morning, some lingering rain along the coast. But Saturday afternoon, we clear out nicely. Today, the heaviest rain, 100% chance for today, but then just 40% chance tonight and a 30% chance on Friday. Again, the bulk of that will be in the east. We will get some good soaking rain out of this, and it's likely to line up somewhere around 3/4 of an inch to the south and maybe closer to an inch around the triangle. We desperately need the rain. But it won't affect our weekend. We'll see clearing skies on Saturday, and Sunday just looks gorgeous. I mean, both days, you can't really go wrong. 65 Saturday, 73 on on Sunday. But then we're going to switch it up again. Our temperatures turn cooler Monday and Tuesday with another chance of much needed rain. Ken?
Excellent, Elizabeth. Happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We got a handful of incidents dotting our live traffic map this morning and a few delays in some of our major routes. Because of all the rain, we do have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning. Kelsey Coffey, Charles Bradley, they're in the Apex area. This looks like they're around Highway 64 coming back into Raleigh right now. So it's a situation where the windshield wipers are going. You can see the traffic is beginning to slow down just a bit. But definitely, if you're heading out, watch your pacing, watch your speed. Try to leave the house a little sooner than usual as a result. A couple of major secondary routes that tend to get busy this time of the morning, especially with the rainy conditions. Here's what we're looking at in Capitol Boulevard. Some huge delays there, stretching all the way past Burlington Mills Road. You're coming in from Roseville. We're seeing some huge delays around the Mitchell Mill Road area. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out this morning. As for the other major routes, we're picking up some major delays coming in out of Apex this morning around Highway 55, around Williams Road, so to speak. You're looking at a 15-minute delay. You might want to take 540 over to 64 and then back into onto US 1. The other troubled spot, 11 minutes if you're coming in from Wake Forest this morning. Just a couple of minutes if you're coming in from I-87 and Nigel. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks so much. We have much more news ahead now. Morrisville Fire Relief. The Red Cross is returning to the site of that massive apartment fire. What is being done to help those displaced find a new home? And economic expansion. Hundreds of new jobs are coming to North Carolina through Amazon. We have a look inside the booming industry in our state.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time now is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on this Weather Alert Day. Elizabeth.
Oh, it's messy out there right now. Lots of rain. It's a little bit lighter south and east of I-95, but a cold front that'll be dropping across the area today will increase our chances for rain, especially in those southern counties where it's been lighter this morning. Once we get past 4 or 5 o'clock, it begins to taper off and really shifts focus into our eastern counties for tonight and tomorrow. It's fairly mild. Our temperatures are in the low 50s right now, climbing to 60 this afternoon. Ken?
All right, that's what's happening now. We're going to take you to that southern loop of the Beltline. This is what you're looking at, I-40 and Lake Wheeler Road. You can see the bumper traffic, a couple of stalled vehicles over on the shoulder right now. But that's the usual morning congestion that we see this time of the morning on that southern loop of the Beltline. But, you know, as congested as that looks, you're only looking at a 3-minute delay. We're seeing traffic really building around Wade Avenue, heading to I-40 westbound. You're looking at a 4-minute delay. But if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County this morning, just a 1-minute delay between Highway 36 and the Beltline. Coming up, we'll take a look at your morning commute and any delays we're seeing on any major routes at the bottom of the hour on Fox 50.
Right now, we are working to learn more about a crash involving a Durham police officer. This happened on South Roxborough and Cornwallis roads last night. Police say the crash happened while the officer was responding to a call. The officer and the other driver were both taken to the hospital for minor injuries. Happening today, local and state leaders will discuss what they call a child care crisis. They're meeting with providers at Kate's Corner to talk about solutions at noon. We want to correct an error, and due to a typo in a press release, we reported 50% of facilities have closed since 2019. That number should have been 5%. Coming up next on Fox 50, what comes next for families at a Mooresville apartment complex that burned.
Today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. We have a cold front that's going to be crossing the area, keeping that chance of rain with us for most of the day. I'll walk you through Futurecast coming up.
We're tracking a wet morning commute. There's a live look from the WRAL Storm Tracker in Wake County. Looks like they're on the Beltline I-40 area. We'll give you a closer look at conditions as you get ready to head out the door.
Plus, a reported threat at a high school in Raleigh where just the other day, a student was arrested and charged for having a weapon on campus. We'll dive into what we know about this latest threat.
And childcare changes, how state leaders plan to address affordability issues many parents are facing. A lot of updates to get to here on your Thursday morning, and what a dreary Thursday it is. I'm Laura Levine.
And I'm Ken Smith. It's been busy for first responders out there with a number of crashes. Let's get over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, the WRAL Severe Weather Center, tracking this wet morning for us.
Yes, it's a mess out there. You can see how much rain is covering our part of North Carolina. We have this front that'll dive across the area this afternoon. That will increase our chances for rain, but it should be past the triangle by the time we get to the evening commute. I'm not promising that it won't be wet, but the bulk of the heavier rain will be out of here. It's a little lighter south and east of the triangle right now. Our rain chances do go up closer to lunchtime, and that's when we'll end up seeing that cold front coming through. And then after the evening commute, again, it begins to ease up at least a little bit. This morning, we're seeing a good bit of rain out there. Some of it, of course, causing some issues. Ken's going to be talking about that, so just be on the lookout for it. And it's messy. You can see the top of the building is kind of stuck into the clouds here as we take a look across downtown Raleigh from our Dix Park camera. 51 is our temperature, our wind coming out of the south, and our hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures are in the low 50s now. We're looking at a high this afternoon of around 60. We're still on track for a nice weekend. We'll check that out coming up. Ken?
What is happening now in the WRAL traffic center? We've got a handful of incidents starting on live map this morning. Some delays on the Beltline, that northern loop and southern loop of the Beltline as well. And because of all this rain, that's why we have the WRAL Storm Tracker out on the roads this morning. They've been navigating all the major routes in Wake County. So let's check in with Kelsey Coffey, Charles Bradley. You look like you're back, coming back towards the Raleigh area. What are you seeing right now?
Ken, we're seeing the rain that we have been seeing all morning long. So we'll go ahead and give you a live look now at the Beltline. So you can take a look at just wet roads here. It looks like we're coming up now on the Western Boulevard exit. Just know that if you are driving out this morning, that this rain could impact your visibility. So you're going to want to be careful, slow down, and give yourself some extra time. We have not seen too many traffic disruptions since we've been riding around for the last hour or so after we took a break. So, Ken, what can you tell folks before they head out for their morning commute?
Yeah, earlier this morning, Kelsey, that wasn't the case. We had a number of incidents that really kept first responders busy. But like you said, it's been rather quiet the last hour or so. This I-40 Lake Wheeler Road, a couple of stalled vehicles there on the shoulder of the road, but people are taking it slow on that southern loop of the Beltline. So this is what you're looking at in terms of delays on that southern loop of the Beltline, which includes the Rock Quarry Road exit, the Lake Wheeler Road exit. Right now, you're just looking at a couple of minutes delay. So it appears people are just taking their time this morning, which is really good news. We're seeing a little bit of congestion building around Wade Avenue if you're navigating I-40 this morning. Just a 4-minute delay. Just a 1-minute delay if you're coming in from Garner, Johnston County between Highway 36 and the Beltline. As we widen out the view, but things have gotten a lot better here on coming in from Apex. That was up to 15 minutes ago. It's down to 5 minutes. So things are clearing up on US 1 coming in out of Apex. The other troubled spot, our friends at Wake Forest, you're looking at an 11-minute delay to coming into town. So keep that in mind as you plan your morning commute. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Well, here in the WRAL Live Center, giving you a little more context and perspective regarding this alert that went out to Millbrook Magnet High School staff and families today. They say they received reports of some kind of text message or social media threat that's been circulating. And they say, quote, "We take any and all potential threats to our school seriously." Now, mind you, this is going to lead to an increase of law enforcement on campus there. And also, this is happening a day after there was just a student arrested and charged yesterday at Millbrook High School, accused of having a gun on campus. That's this person right here. Now, we are in the process of trying to get more information regarding this most recent threat, but I can tell you that our assignment desk just heard from Raleigh Police, and they're saying that right now they are not investigating something that seems to be credible, it turns out.
Okay, Chris, thank you for that update. This morning's rainy weather was a factor in this multi-car crash on I-40 near Airport Boulevard. Troopers say a BMW lost control and sideswiped a black Suburban around 3:30. A second crash happened there about an hour later when another car hit the BMW involved in the first crash. All three drivers had minor injuries and the road is back open. We're trying to learn new information this morning about a car crash involving a Durham police officer. This was the scene last night on South Roxborough and Cornwallis roads. You can see significant damage to both cars. Police say the crash happened while the officer was responding to another incident. The department did not specify what the officer was responding to, but did say he had his lights and sirens on. Both the officer and the other driver were taken to the hospital for minor injuries.
New this morning, investigators in Cary are trying to find out what started an overnight house fire. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker on Cumberland Crest Drive around midnight. This is near West Lake Road. Both the Apex and Fairview fire departments responded as well. No injuries are reported.
Police in Knightdale are looking for the person responsible for firing shots at an apartment complex. The WRAL breaking news tracker drove to the Parkstone Apartments to check out the investigation. And that's on Park Commons Drive off Knightdale Boulevard. Police believe a person fired several shots in that parking lot and a nearby apartment was hit. Nobody was hurt. That's the good news in all of this. And no arrests have been made, but police say they did identify a suspect vehicle.
The number of child care facilities in North Carolina is going down, and today state and local leaders will talk about how to change that trend. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar was at the Cates Corner in Durham, where leaders from all across the state will be examining how child care can be improved.
And here at Cates Corner, it's going to be a discussion between lawmakers and child care providers. They're talking about why it's so crucial for the state to step up their funding for child care. Right now, about 18,000 children are on wait lists for child care subsidies. Senator Natalie Murdoch tells me the legislature has not provided funding for child care over the past several months. It's led to rising costs for both parents and providers. Lawmakers plan to bring this discussion to the legislature when the budget is talked about this spring.
We definitely want to get that feedback from parents, but more than anything, we want to make it clear that we need this funding. So we will be taking all of their comments and sharing it with the chairs of the Healthcare Committee and the House and the Senate.
And they're hoping for solutions and relief sometime in April. That's when the legislature is expected to talk about the budget. Reporting in Durham, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
So we need to correct an error from our reporting on this story earlier. Due to a typo in the press release, we reported 50% of facilities have closed since 2019. That number should have been 5%.
A Roanoke Rapids school employee faces charges after stealing from her child's school. Kendra Floyd is charged with 6 counts of embezzlement. She's accused of stealing more than $23,000 from the Belmont Elementary Parent-Teacher Organization. Arrest warrants say that she transferred money from the PTO account to her own account. We are asking the school district specifically what her position is in the school system and her current job status. Floyd is due back in court next month. Meanwhile, we are also following a similar story in Wake Forest. The treasurer of the Wake Forest Elementary School PTA is also accused of embezzlement. Court documents say Anna Marie Etheridge stole more than $30,000. She's due back in court next month.
Well, the Red Cross will be on site of that massive fire at Camden Westwood Apartments this morning. They're working with people in long term in terms of finding housing. Crews say the fire started on a first floor balcony, but they're still looking for a cause. Now, moving forward, property management will coordinate with residents as to when they can go and get their belongings. Now, 2 pet bunnies were rescued from the debris. Their owner was one of 70 people displaced. She says she lost all hope that they were alive until she got a call this morning.
Apparently they were hiding under a piece of drywall that had fallen, and they were hiding, so they knew to keep themselves, hidden, because that's what rabbits do, they hide.
Oh, so wonderful for that to happen. The Office of State Fire Marshal, Wake County, and Morrisville Fire Marshals are all investigating this fire. Well, today, Raleigh leaders will revisit congestion concerns along Six Forks Road. Right now, the area sees between 30 and 40,000 cars a day. Traffic backups, especially at peak times and around shopping areas like North Hills. WRAL has been following plans to improve this area for more than a decade now. In 2012, Raleigh City Council's first considered this project. They formally adopted a Six Forks Road Corridor plan in June of 2018. It was scrapped last summer because of cost. Now, instead, the City Council decided to spend the money on less expensive safety improvements in that area. This afternoon meeting starts at 3 o'clock.
Well, tension is rising after a deadly gunfight between Cuban troops and a U.S. speedboat. Cuba's Interior Ministry says the speedboat group opened fire on the Cuban Border Patrol as they approached the island's coast. Cuban agents fired back, killing 4 people. 7 people were injured, including Cuba's Border Patrol commander. According to statements from those detained, the 10 Cuban nationals from the U.S. were planning to, quote, carry out an infiltration for terrorist purposes.
It is highly unusual to see shootouts in open sea like that. But we're going to find out. We're not going to base our conclusions on what they've told us.
And again, the Cuban regime said the armed group was 10 Cuban nationals from the U.S. and the speedboat was registered in Florida. It also claimed on TV last night the nation will protect its territorial waters. Happening today, a UNC Board of Governors will vote on tuition increases. This would be the first in-state undergraduate tuition increase since 2017. It will affect UNC system schools, including UNC Chapel Hill, NC State, and NC Central. If approved, incoming students at most schools will see a $125 increase on average. This will not affect current students. The system expects to raise $49 million from this round of increases.
Well, tonight the Carolina Hurricanes and the trio of Olympic medal winners will be back on home ice. Jacob Slavin showed off the gold medal he won with Team USA in the locker room yesterday. Seth Jarvis won silver with Canada, and Sebastian Aho won bronze with Finland. They and the rest of the Canes will take the ice tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Puck drops at 7 o'clock. Time now, 8:41, and a child glued to a chair. What we know about a teacher fired after a 3-year-old came home from school with burns.
And it's a WRAL weather alert day as we're taking a live look at rainy conditions in Clinton. You can see how dark the clouds are. After the break, meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us how long this rain will stick around.
$8:45. We have a lot of rain showing up out here on the dual Doppler 5000 radar. It's a little bit lighter south and east of the Triangle area, but it is definitely coming down everywhere. It's just started to pick up a little bit from western Wake County through Durham and then back over toward the Triad and into Virginia, right there where the yellow line is. That's where the cold front is starting to push in and bumping up the intensity. So we'll see that late morning into the early part of the afternoon. That's going to bring us that 100% chance of rain. The front will shift eastward and start to create lesser rainfall across our area. It begins to taper off a little bit during the evening hours and overnight. Taking a look at Apex, it is wet out there. You see people walking around with their umbrellas. It's coming down heavily enough that you'll be pretty happy that you have either a raincoat or an umbrella. Temperatures are not that cold. 50 in Lewisburg, 51 in Tarboro, 56 in Fayetteville, 52 degrees in Goldsboro. You may want to take the exercise inside today. There's really not going to be a great window of opportunity to be outside, but for the weekend, it does look pretty nice. I'll show you that, Ken.
All right, look forward to that. But here's what you can look forward to if you're heading out this morning. That southern loop of the Beltline, part of your morning commute. These are the westbound lanes moving away from us. It's looked that way now for the last hour and a half as traffic picked up. But as congested as that looks, you're just looking at a 5-minute delay up and down I-40 westbound. You're coming in from Garner, Johnston County, or even navigating I-40 westbound through Wade Avenue, 5 minutes. We'll take a look at some drive times on some other major routes in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Happening today, Wake County Public Schools will hold a Black History Month celebration. Tonight, students and employees from across the district will meet at East Garter Magnet Middle. Each will share spoken word, music, visual art, dance, step, and more. The event is called Dare to Dream, inspiring the future and upholding the legacy. It runs from 6:30 to 8 this evening. North Carolina is getting 700 new jobs as Amazon expands its delivery network. From the mountains to the coast, new opportunities are opening up for workers across the state. 5 new Amazon delivery stations are about to start buzzing, and roughly 600 jobs are still available. The stations are in Tarboro, Jacksonville, Southern Pines, Mount Airy, and Hayesville, bringing work to communities big and small. It's a team effort to make it happen.
Certainly, tax incentives are always very helpful. And then working with the city and county officials, which is exactly what has happened here and the reason that Amazon came to this community.
The rise in commerce is fueling a boom in logistic jobs. The state projects tens of thousands more positions by 2032. For the full story on the growth, you can head to the NC Capitol page on WRAL.com. Well, listen to this. A Charlotte 3-year-old is recovering after her mother says her teacher glued her to her chair. LaShawna Williams pleaded guilty to misdemeanor child abuse and contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile. Ashley Mejas says she noticed the second-degree burns on her daughter's legs during her bedtime routine. She told the school what had happened and says Williams admitted what she had done. Mejas says she doesn't blame the school, but her trust has been shaken.
I'm supposed to trust you with my kid all day. You're supposed to be a figure for them, and she trusted her. And now you did that to her. And what lasting effects is she going to have that we can't see now?
So difficult. The school said as soon as the issue was brought to their attention, Williams was removed from the classroom and fired. She was sentenced to 10 days in jail and is ordered to have no contact with the child or her family.
Well, today marks 1 year since the U.S. recorded its first measles death in a decade. The 2025 outbreak in West Texas led to more than 700 people there contracting measles. The school-aged child who died was unvaccinated. 23 people have contracted measles in North Carolina since December, but measles infections in South Carolina are improving. The state has reported a sharp 2-week drop in cases. South Carolina is the nation's largest outbreak since 1992, with 979 cases reported as of Tuesday.
Today's a big day, the return of Bridgerton.
And returning to the ice after the Olympics, here's a look at what's trending. New Jersey Devils star Jack Hughes receiving a hero's welcome last night after his return from the Winter Olympics. Hughes scored the game-winning goal in overtime in the gold medal game against Canada Sunday. The Devils honoring Hughes before last night's game. Hughes also brought an opposing player on the ice, Tage Thompson from the Buffalo Sabres. They were teammates on Team USA. How cool is that?
That is so cool. I can't wait to see our local Canes be honored today as well.
It's going to be quite a time at Lenovo Center tonight.
Yes. Well, listen to this. Part 2 of season 4 of Bridgerton is now out on Netflix. Thank God. Okay. The new episodes released at 3 this morning, just under a month after Netflix released the first half. This season focuses on a romance for Benedict Bridgerton and a maid named Sophie. I was so upset that they split these episodes up. But here we are. It's Bridgerton weekend, and that's where I'm going to be, on the sofa this weekend, binging.
You, Renee, and me, we're all going to be at our respective homes watching that. Big fan of that
Me
show.
too.
We're here in the, there you go.
I mean, who's not, right?
I know we're not fans of this rain, but we need it.
We do need it. Yeah. So we're looking at widespread rain this morning. Ken, I know you've been following it, watching issues on the roads this morning. So keep checking back with us. Of course, we still have the 9 o'clock hour coming up on Fox 50. So check with us right before you head out. Ken will let you know if there's something you need to avoid. A messy morning commute. The rain will be a little lighter during the evening commute, but it still could be a mess. Not looking at any flooding because we'll see an inch of rain or less. I am watching this band. This is where the cold front's starting to get a little closer to us, and it's not likely that we're going to have a lot of thunder and lightning with us, but it's probably going to be pretty breezy. Winds maybe gusting 25 to 30 when this line comes through. It's a little lighter and patchier in our southeastern counties, but once this starts to shift southward, that rain will start to fill into the south and east as well. We need the rain. The drought monitor comes out every Thursday, and we see no change. It really is going to take, a couple of times a week with an inch of rain for several months for us to get out of this drought. So last week, part of our viewing area went under extreme drought, everybody else under severe drought. But, this definitely helps what we see today. We may see more rain by early next week. Here's Futurecast, and you can see by 11 o'clock, that line starts to move a little closer to the triangle, and then east of the triangle around 2 o'clock. And then as we get closer to the evening commute, it may be a little drier. Streets are still going to be wet, still probably going to be messy, but it may not be as heavy. On Friday, the best chance of rain will be along and east of I-95, and the rest of us should be dry, but it may still feel damp out there, and we'll still see a lot of cloud cover. This is a look at downtown Raleigh. Man, the rain is just coming down. This is a view from our Dix Park camera. It is 51 degrees right now, and we'll hold it at about 60 this afternoon. When the cold front comes through, closer to lunchtime, we'll see some gusts about 20, maybe up to 25 miles per hour, and our high temperatures will be in the upper 50s to low and mid 60s across our area. We are looking at a nice weekend. Temperatures in the mid-50s on Friday. It will be a little bit cooler. Once that front moves southward, a little cooler air will filter in, and we'll see a lot of cloud cover. But then all of that lifts northward, and we're back into what we call the warm sector for the weekend. We'll see skies clearing on Saturday, 65 degrees, and then 73 on Sunday. So it looks very nice for us. A 7-day forecast, again, looking pretty good. We're watching next week. We'll have a chance for some showers Monday and Tuesday, and our overnight low Tuesday morning does get a suspiciously down close to freezing. Right now, I wouldn't expect to see anything frozen falling across our area, but we'll keep our eye on it. Keep your eye on that weekend. I mean, it looks so nice. That's that high of 73 on Sunday. Hopefully you'll have a chance to get out and enjoy it. We'll continue to watch that. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have one more look at your messy morning commute. We'll be right back.